your connection in Southern Oregon and Northern California. This is News 10 at 5.
Good evening, I'm Rick Tillery.
I'm Trish Close. Thanks for joining us tonight. City of Medford is setting aside a big chunk of money in its budget. That money going toward the hire of an emergency manager.
News 10 broke that story last night at 11. Now we're taking a closer look at why the city says it is worth paying for protection. News 10's Caitlin Conrad has details in tonight's top story at 5.
The Rogue Valley has a lot of people who work to get the community prepared. CERT Coordinators, firefighters, and county emergency management. But Medford leaders say it's important for the city to have its own point person in the event of a disaster.
We're looking at probably the first 72 hours after an event like this, the community is going to have to be self-sufficient. There won't be state and federal resources to come to play, typically in a 3 to 4 day period.
City Manager Eric Swanson says the position will cost the city $145,000 a year, $60,000 to $67,000 of it for the base salary. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the mean salary for a city emergency manager is $64,000, the lowest average being $30,000, and the pay topping out at $110,000.
We've established a range that's consistent with what other communities pay for this type of position.
Swanson says the city is casting a wide net and searching nationwide for someone with the right skill sets and disaster experience. He says this person will be in charge of making sure every city department is ready to go in an emergency.
We kind of have an idea of what the plan is, but we don't do enough in terms of practicing, bringing, even our city departments, police, fire, public works, and actually exercising those with county officials.
He says the price for a city EM is expensive, but they will pay for themselves eventually, not only in providing for the community in the initial hours, but also fighting for funds in the long term.
It's important that you have someone in place that's preparing for those, but also is around for afterwards.
He says keeping the city up and running will not only help individuals, but will also protect the local economy. Covering your news in Medford, Caitlin Conrad, News 10.
Swanson says more than half of the $145,000 set aside will pay for benefits. Some of the cost could be covered by grants, and we'll have more on that tonight on News 10 at 6 o'clock. Other areas in Oregon also have emergency management directors. Portland sets aside about $130,000 for the director's salary and benefits. The city of Bend, closest in population to Medford, uses the county's emergency management system. That director makes about $93,000 a year to manage all of Deschutes County.